You and Chris are going to be in here talking about God knows what.
I got it wrong.
Well, I don't know if the neighbors are entertained or not, but I know I am.
It's not right.
That ain't right. That boy ain't right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to another episode of The Retro Show. I'm your host, Butch Renfro, and I am joined, as always, at my podcasting table. Ladies and gentlemen,
Chris Curtis. Oh, man, my crowd's back. I love you guys. You guys are awesome. You know that chick is back. I lied. There is a chick in the front row. Stand up, honey. That's right. Give a bow. Take a little bow.
there you go. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, man. Well, Chris, as we record this, we have just finished, hopefully, the last of the 100-degree days.
Certainly.
That was a long slog, man.
It was.
Down here. We had like a couple of weeks where it broke 100 every single day.
You know, I don't think I can hold out
I don't think you can.
any longer.
You gots to. And there
we're
you go. And there you go. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Retro Show, and what we are is in homage to all things that are about growing up in the 70s and 80s, and we're glad you could join us. That's quite good.
Yes, it is quite.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, this, and you're lucky enough to get it, like I said, we're recording this. It is early September, but this is our Halloween show because it'll air sometime in October.
Yep.
When you'll be hearing this. But just so you know that Chris and I were both big into Halloween when we were kids.
We were.
I
I had a good time, man. That was a lot of fun. I'm going to tell you something, Dan. The Palatial Retro Show Studios have stepped up a notch.
Well,
now we have a green room.
Now we do have a green room. Okay, so what he's talking about is that we had a china cabinet. Okay. Well, in this day and age, we don't really have much need for a china cabinet, as we don't serve a lot of stuff on china around here. We might serve it on Chinette, but we don't serve it on good china.
So
I have some good china, but it's like stored somewhere.
You know, we got stuff for our wedding that we only use it like one time a year at Christmas because it's so pretty and you don't want to mess it up.
You don't want to
drop a plate.
Yeah, no. But no, what it was is we took a china cabinet and basically we did some work on it. We took out a shelf on there. I had to do some wood filling. It was like real carpenter type work, man.
Very
was
nice.
I got
it
to do
turned
it.
out it's beautiful.
Thank you very much.
Beautiful.
It's now our
Is
coffee.
that a frother?
Hey, yes, Debbie has a frother.
Wow.
On there. Yes, this is high dollar, man. So yeah, it's a coffee hutch or a coffee nook now. That would be Bentley. You hear the dog whining?
There must be a bill being paid from the Retro Show.
He is the podcast general manager, ladies and gentlemen. Bentley, the party poodle.
That's right.
And so the Retro Show, very glad to get into our Halloween episode in a little bit. But first, I want to talk a little bit about the actual project and see if this rings a bell with you, being a married guy.
Yeah,
okay?
Probably not. But anyway, go ahead.
Okay, so here's how this conversation started. First of all, my wife, Debbie, who's been on a few podcasts, go back and listen. Debbie has Pinterest, which is a dangerous thing.
It is, and it's dangerous for me.
Yeah,
it is
exactly.
For me also.
Okay, so here's what happened. She found this thing about turning a china cabinet into a coffee hutch. And I said, that's awesome. I said, we got a vacation coming up in a couple of weeks. How about when we get back?
No.
We do that. And she said, okay, that sounds great. Well, 2 hours later, she's in here taking stuff out of the china cabinet. And I went, we ain't waiting until we get back from vacation.
No, but it looks good, dude.
Well, thanks. But anyway, that's how projects generally start. And she will say this, and I'm absolutely going to back that up because she has receipts to prove it. I am a born procrastinator. Never put off tomorrow what you can put off the day after tomorrow. So, And so anyway, we ended up doing it. It did turn out nice. Thank you very much. I may have to take a photo now so people can see it.
Yeah, man, I think so. I mean,
Yeah.
it is palatial now.
It is
for
palatial
sure.
now, and it's nice. But anywho, what's been happening with you, brother man?
Man, we just come off a holiday weekend, so I was off yesterday,
Right.
and I started Thursday night. I worked Friday, and then Friday evening played disc golf till dark. Cooked out.
There you
ate
go.
good.
Oh,
Drank
we ate good.
Pretty good.
Ate and drank good. Yeah.
And then Saturday, kind of kicked around the house, did a few things that needed to be done around there.
Yeah.
And then Saturday night, we went out to eat with some friends and had drinks again. And then that turned into more drinks at their house, watching UCA and Oklahoma State ball game. That was
fantastic.
fun.
Yeah.
And then Sunday, played a little bit more disc golf. And then yesterday, I went to practice. I'm playing in the Arkansas Masters at the end of this month.
Oh,
so
fantastic, man.
I went up there to practice the course yesterday.
You got to take some swag and hand it out there. We have some retro show swag.
Yep,
So
we
if
do
you
have
ever
some
run
swag.
into us out in the real world,
Here in the real world.
Thank you, Mr. Jackson. But anyway, folks, if you want to get in touch with us, it's real easy to do. Chris, give them that phone number.
501-697-9933.
See there, I put him on the spot and he delivered.
And you got to find that button on there. A 99, a 33.
A 99, a 33. But anyway, you can call there. You can leave us a voicemail. You can also text us at that number. You can also reach us at howdy@retroshow.net, which will send an email to me and Chris.
That's awesome.
I know. So anyway, that's how you can get in touch with us. And of course, retroshow.net gives you a link to our Facebook page where you can see what we've been posting there and post back. I mean, we just have and what's the word?
A plethora.
Of ways that you can get a hold of us here.
Our word of the day.
Our
Well,
word
that
of
was
the
the word of the day the last time. He's going to have another
I'm
one.
gonna,
I guarantee
I'm
he's
gonna have to come
another
up with something before the end of now. See, the pressure's on.
one. It
now.
is.
So, by the way, worth the price of you coming here today. I've got to tell you about something that I tried that I saw on the TikToks.
On the TikToks.
And I had to give it a try myself. So what you do is when you go to the grocery store, get a 52 ounce.
Grab everything you can and run out the door and see how far you can make it.
Well, in this day and age, inflation hurts. Yeah. But, the 52 ounce Minute Maid sugar-free lemonade. Okay? Get that.
Okay, wait a minute. How many ounces?
It's a 52 ounce bottle.
52 ounce.
Yes. And so get the 52 ounce bottle. Then walk over to wherever they sell Kool-Aid. Get the just regular, old school, unsweetened. You got to add 2 cups of sugar to it. Cherry Kool-Aid.
Okay.
Okay. Combine those two. Put the cap on, mix it back up. You will thank me. It is my drink of choice right now.
But I almost be willing to bet that you didn't drink all 52 ounces and there's still some in there.
You would be wrong on that because I have 2,
Dadgummit.
what I like to call the plague of locust.
Oh, I know, man. Trust me.
And so
I know.
things have a way of just not being there anymore.
Yep.
They also, my sons, thought it was fantastic. So,
Okay,
or
cool.
one of them did, because I know I had plenty left in there, and now I don't. But what I'm telling you, and dear listener, do this. Trust me on this. Trust your Uncle Butch to do this. And I promise you it's going to be good. Anyway, Chris, when we come back, we are going to be discussing.
Well, before we leave, I kind of thought of something right there that
What did
it's
you
kind
think
of a little
of?
rabbit hole. But do you remember The Lost Boys, the movie The Lost Boys?
Yes.
I think the old man had it right. Grandpa.
Yeah.
Remember, he had the refrigerator and he had the old man shelf in the middle that
Yep.
was covered and said, "You don't touch anything on the middle shelf. That's where
Don't touch anything on the metal shelf. That's mine.
That's where I keep my Pepsis and my
My
jelly rolls."
Pepsis and my jelly rolls. Yeah. But anyway, folks, this is the Retro Show, and we are going to be right back to talk Halloween. Was that spooky enough for you? Hey, Chris, guess what?
What?
Hey, guess what? We got producers on this show, and it's time to give them the big shout out. So
You
go
guys
ahead.
are awesome. I'm just saying.
Yep. So get us kicked off here. Who's first on the list?
LNC Corporation.
You don't cross the LNC
not ever.
Corporation. Never, never, ever. Next on the list, Kevin Goff. Thank you, Mr. Goff.
Golf, thanks, man.
And then, of course,
Norton.
Chris B.
Chris
from
B.
Out east. Thank you, Chris. Also, Nancy Schwartz.
Nancy Schwartz.
Thank you very much, Nancy. Joshua Ramsey. Big Joshua Ramsey.
Big J.
Man, it's a great. That would be a good wrestling name.
Well, not only that, man, it'd be a good cowboy name.
Yeah, Josh Ramsey. That's right. You don't cross Josh Ramsey either. All right, who's next on the list?
Fran
Adams.
Fran Adams.
EM, just the initials, man. That's all we get on that. EM.
But thank you.
And then, of course,
Bradford, the Behemoth, Mason.
Bradford Brad. And then our very first producer ever,
Number one in our hearts.
Tanya Highland.
Thank you, Tanya.
And if you would like to also be a producer for just $3 a month, it's very easy to do. Go to retroshow.net and you can find more information about how you can support our podcast.
I got 5 pieces of candy. I got a chocolate bar. I got a quarter. I got a rock.
Is that not nostalgia?
That is.
Right there. Ladies and gentlemen, the only Halloween TV special that has stood the test of time for coming up on 57 years is It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown.
It's awesome.
It's going to be 57 years old this year.
Is that really true?
Yeah, that's really true. It's 1966 when that came out. So, yep. Yeah, it's been out that long. It's
Where the
just
hell did time go?
I know, it just flew by. But every year, you would wait for that to come on because I'm just going to be honest with you. The Peanuts specials, which back in the day were always sponsored by Dolly Madison, came on and started off every year with Charlie Brown Christmas special, followed by, oh no, what am I saying? Started off with It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, followed by, and what's the Thanksgiving one?
The Great Pumpkin.
No, that's not the Thanksgiving. That's the Halloween one.
No, isn't it?
Why would it be the Great Pumpkin on Thanksgiving?
Pumpkins are around Thanksgiving. I don't know.
It was a Charlie Brown Thanksgiving.
I think that's what it is.
Yeah. And then
I've got a family deal going on right now on my phone. I'm sorry. I'm distracted.
he's distracted, folks. He's
very
being
sorry.
texted. And so anyway, and then you had the Charlie Brown Christmas special, which actually was the first one. It came out in 1963. The perfect triumvirate. There's your word. Your perfect triumvirate.
Triumvirate.
Yes, of holiday TV specials. The Peanuts.
I love
Because they got you covered on Halloween.
Yep,
They got you covered on Thanksgiving. And the Peanuts got you covered on Christmas.
they do.
So you name me one other group of TV specials that get you through the holidays.
I don't
there.
think there is one.
There isn't one. That's why the Peanuts is perfect. And I want to play this bit again because I have a point to make on here. Okay, so listen very carefully.
I got 5 pieces of candy. I got a chocolate bar. I got a quarter. I got a rock.
Okay, now I'm speaking now as an adult, semi-functional, semi-sane human being here. What kind of sick son of a gun
Gives a rock.
gives a little kid a rock? And here's the thing, not just one neighbor. No, Chris, this was a conspiracy against this kid. This whole neighborhood hated this boy, giving him a rock. I'm sorry, man.
that Charlie
that just
Brown?
ain't right. Yeah, it was Charlie Brown. That's Charlie Brown, the Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown. Charlie Brown got a rock.
Pigpen didn't even get that abuse.
No, Pigpen did not get that abuse. And
Did
so,
you? Who was the hippie? You know who the hippie was on there, don't you?
That would have been Peppermint Patty.
Peppermint Patty.
She had Birkenstocks before
Yeah.
Birkenstocks were cool.
That's right.
That's right. She was. She used words like groovy and right on. You know,
Yeah.
Peppermint Patty had it going on there. She probably married Marcy later when it became legal in Washington. So I'm just saying. But anyway, folks, the Halloween special. This is like our Halloween special. So talking Halloween, Chris, what are some of your earliest Halloween memories?
Man, to be honest with you, honest to God, I don't remember early. I just remember Treasure Hills.
Yeah.
and trick or treating out there. I don't remember really anything before that.
Really?
I really don't. I
Man,
mean,
that was like the most exciting. I mean, it was right up there with Christmas for me.
it was fun. I mean, I remember going. I do, but I don't have any.
You don't remember any of the
fond
costumes
memories.
or anything like
Oh,
that you
man.
had? Oh,
No.
really? Man, because I was 7 years old, I got a Batman costume.
Well, heck yeah, you did.
And remember back in the day, they were those little plastic masks that had the little 5-micron thick piece of elastic that would always break before you were finished with your power trick or treating for the night. And, you know, you would have to then hold on your mask for the rest of the time. But I had the little Batman mask. I had the square jaw and everything, man.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man, I was rocking. I had the little Batman plastic poncho.
I think I do remember going as Peter Pan one year when I was little.
I'll bet you did, Peter Pan. One of my great Napoleon
Man,
Dynamite.
did you remember
Sorry about
the
that.
Saturday Night Live skit with Dan Aykroyd? And they were like interviewing him because of his costumes were dangerous or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
He's a
Oh, yeah. He
Johnny
was-
Spaceman.
Johnny
He's a plastic bag. Put
Yeah,
it
just-
over his head and it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. That was one of the funnier bits they did.
It was.
But man, I remember back in the day on Halloween, it would be like we'd get home and we had some daylight left when we got home. So, man, I'm telling you, I got home 3:45. By 10 till 4, I was dressed up and ready to go, waiting for it to get dark enough to go out and start trick or treating.
Yeah.
And we'd all trick or treat together. You get together with your friends and you go around and do that. And it was just a great time. I just have a lot of nostalgia.
I just know in Treasure Hills it was a hike.
It was a hike in Treasure Hills, but
Everybody was on
but
2-acre plots.
Before I moved there when I was 10, we lived in an area that the houses were a lot closer together. And so a bunch of us would just get together and we'd just all roam the neighborhoods together, sometimes going twice around, you know. And it was just a great time, man. I remember, and also they'd give out full-size candy bars back in the day.
Yes, but you know there was a scare back then too about
Oh, yeah.
the razor blades
Yeah.
and needles and candy. Bunch of assholes. I'm sorry, maybe you have to bleep that out, but I mean, come on, dude. What's wrong with people?
Some psycho always got to come and mess things up.
They do, man. Getting free candy and you gonna mess it up.
But yeah, man, I remember.
The worst part was keeping my brother out of my candy. That was the worst part.
Okay. I'm sure it was
mean-
because he'd come like looking for the good stuff. Okay, so now if we're going to talk Halloween, we got to talk Halloween candy because you know some of the Halloween candy was like really good, and some of it was not. But even
I'm gonna
then-
make you edit this, but I've got to say it.
What's that?
Sometimes it may be good, sometimes it may be shit.
Yeah. It's two bleeps. Two bleeps, one show. Sometimes maybe good, maybe not.
Yeah.
See, that was the thing, is that you knew the people who like really didn't want to participate.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and they were like, just throw you.
Just turn your light off.
yeah.
man.
Or either that or give you chick tracks or something. You know?
Yeah.
But like what I like to call the like circus peanuts. Okay,
What do you mean
that's
by
like
circus?
those foam rubber looking peanuts that they always handed out. Those big marshmallow.
Oh
looking
yeah,
ones.
yeah, yo.
Yeah, and you may like these. I don't know if you do or not, but candy corn.
I love candy corn.
Okay, see, some people do.
I love
Some
candy
people
corn.
did.
I don't eat candy corn. I don't even touch
Yeah, you don't
candy
really
corn.
touch candy corn anymore. do
I
you?
don't, man. I
Yeah.
just stay away from it because, like, if I get started, I'll eat the whole bag.
See,
I
I'm
love it.
the total opposite, man. I do not like the candy corn, but I'll tell you, one of the cheaper candies that we always used to get that to this day, people, y'all don't need to be sleeping on Smarties. Okay, they're like little tiny
They're
sweet
awesome.
tarts, little
They're
tiny
awesome.
sweet tarts, man, and they were fantastic. Also, back in the day, we got candy cigarettes, and I just don't.
Yep.
You remember?
And bubblegum cigars.
And bubblegum cigars. The tobacco companies were promoting things. So
Yes,
wanted
they
to
were.
get you. And so, but yeah, they had the, one other thing that was great that I said, oh yeah, let's teach kids how to like white powder and give them a straw with it. And let's make pixie sticks. So. But anyway,
my
you know, it was a great time to grow up, though.
Ali Sheedy and Breakfast Club. You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
She took those pixie sticks, put all over her sandwich, Captain Crunch on her sandwich, and then ate all of it. That was pretty funny.
That's pretty funny. But
I'm sorry. It's just a thought, random thoughts.
that's
through my
okay.
head.
Ladies and gentlemen, you come here for the Halloween show, but you get random thoughts, and that's okay because I'll have a few popping into my head later. One thing that I can tell you, though, about trick-or-treating now that's really different, now that I am the candy passer-outer,
Yeah.
here's what I don't appreciate, okay? Parents with teenagers, if they're going to go out and trick-or-treat, that's fine. But when some dude that is taller than me and with a voice like this goes, trick-or-treat, you better have a costume on, man.
Yeah.
And it just come into the door with a Walmart sack and no costume. Man, that's panhandling at that point.
Yeah,
You know, you got to at least put some effort in. Put your mom's lipstick on there and go as a clown. But
Gosh.
So
many places I can go with that, Butch. You
I'm
just
sure you
lob the
could.
softball, and I just let it
I know,
go.
and I admire your restraint. But I'll tell you that. But these teenagers showing up and doing that,
They do it.
and they'll do it. But I'll tell you, we had a little girl that showed up here in a little Ariel outfit one year, and I think she had natural red hair. I loaded this kid down. I don't think she could. I think she was dragging the sack back to her vehicle. But I always have the good stuff in a bowl, and then I have basically, for lack of a better term, a punishment bowl. So when the guy shows up, no costume, sounds like James Earl Jones, trick or treat. Here you go. Here's some kale and. Here's
Sardines. Here's some sardines.
Here's a can of sardines. Here's a mustard packet from 1996. Found that in the junk drawer. Hey, look, that's a Taco Bell sauce you can't get anymore. So.
Yeah, come in a little square little plastic thing.
Yeah, the little plastic thing. But yeah, man, that's so parents, if your teenagers are going to go out, have them put a little effort into it. That's all I ask, just a little effort.
The last really good Halloween episode that I had was with my daughter.
Yeah.
And she got invited over to a friend's house, and they were in elementary school. And my daughter is just different. She's just different. She actually could probably make a living as a Hollywood special effects makeup artist.
Yeah.
Because she can do like open wounds and scars
cool.
and stuff like that. And she said she wanted to go as a vampire. And she had fake blood. And it was like I poured it on her lips. It was just running down her lips and all down the front of her shirt. And we show up to this party, and all these little girls are in princess outfits.
I love it, man. I love it.
The girl that owns the
You
house, she
go,
opens the
Cayenne.
door, and she's like, "Are you like a vampire that just fed or something?" And Kai's like, "Yeah."
Yeah. Ding, 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 ding. Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
And one of the local dentists here in town lives in that neighborhood, and he was dressed up in a gorilla costume at the door, and he had just had his door open, and he was throwing candy at the kids. It was hilarious.
Just throwing candy
Yeah,
at 'em.
just throwing
Get
it at
out of
him. He was acting like, he was dressed up like a gorilla.
That's great. Okay, I'm chasing this rabbit right here. Have you ever seen the YouTube videos of people like, they have like the cameras on their front porch and people coming up on Halloween?
No.
And they'll be
I
like
haven't
dressed
seen that.
like, like they're sitting in this horrid, in a really scary looking costume in a chair, and then they'll stand up real quick. Man, it's hilarious. It's some of the funniest things you've ever seen.
Oh, I have to
Not
watch
because they're scaring kids, because they're not. They're waiting for the adults to come up, and they're scaring him. One guy, though, he didn't think this through, because this one dad just flat up just
Decked him.
decked him. I mean, right cross, man. Dude went down and folded.
That happens.
I know, but which is why that I don't do that.
This
So-
is not Halloween, but this is absolutely the funniest video I've ever seen on YouTube. The guy it's like a 4th of July or Memorial Day party, and he has passed out in a lawn chair. And they tie a string of firecrackers to his shoe. And they light it and throw it up under that chair. And they start going off, and he destroys this lawn chair trying to get out of it. And he's running. He can't get away from it.
can't
He's
get
just
away
out
from
of
it,
a dead,
'cause-
passed out sleep.
And
I
then all the-
laughed. God.
Okay, since we're going to be talking about a 4th of July one, the funniest one I ever saw is someone lights a Roman candle and has it in a bottle till his Jack Russell Terrier comes.
I've seen that.
And grabs it and starts running around. And people are diving for cover because this Roman candle's going boom, boom. And this dog's just running in circles, man. And people are just scattering. It's one of the funniest videos I have ever seen.
It's that same one that the guy's in the wheelchair and he's lighting the fireworks.
Yeah.
He's like, back up, Terry! Back up, Terry!
Yeah, back up, Terry is the thing.
That ends up being a firework. That's now a firework you can buy. Back up, Terry. And it's his picture on the firework.
Oh, that's fantastic. But back to the whole Halloween thing. I remember, okay, so let me tell you one funny Halloween story that we had. Okay.
Place to rest my foot.
He's looking for a place to rest his foot. That's what that sound was. You see, in the theater of the mind.
It's scary.
You can. Ooh, very scary. Okay, so this happened around Halloween, but it's kind of a Halloween story, and it has to do with when when I was in Boy Scouts with a guy named Robert, and you remember Robert.
I do.
I'm not going to give last names here because I don't want him to get in any trouble now since he's like a respected teacher at a place.
That's awesome.
That's all I'm going to say. A teacher at a place. But we took it was around Halloween, so we got a bunch, and this is when I'm like 14, 15. Robert's probably 16. We got a bunch of new Boy Scouts coming in, and it's a rite of passage when you go camping the first time. You tell them a few little ghost stories that you're making up, and you say, well, it just happened right down the road here, And so we had prepped all this. Okay, so we kind of got this in this one kid's mind. So we also start talking about snipe hunting and saying, for you guys that don't know what snipe hunting is, let me go ahead and just...
it is what it is.
It is what it is. You basically, there's the story that you tell, which is that a snipe is a bird that likes to run through ditches, and you take somebody and you give them a sack and you tell them to get in the ditch and to hold the sack open, and we're going to go up the road and run the snipe to them down the ditch, and they'll be able to catch them because they're good eating. Okay? We sold this to this kid. He's ready to go snipe hunting. We've also planted in his mind that there's like a ghost story around the area and stuff like that. So, it's kids in the ditch.
Kids are mean.
And we're terrible. Kids are jerks, and I was a jerk. But
well, I wasn't going to say nothing.
Yeah, but so Robert and I go down the road, and we sitting there, and we're talking, and he's like, you think he's had enough time? I said, yeah, probably. So we start screaming, and all of a sudden, we just cut off. It's just dead silent. This kid's like 100 yards down the road. He can't see us. And we hear this voice go, Robert, Robert, Butch, Robert, Butch. This kid is screaming. We got to go get this kid. He's having a full-blown attack, So we get down there, and he's like, it's like, but kids are jerks. That's the point of my story.
Just mean.
Kids are jerks.
You know what just flashed through my head?
What's that?
An old friend of ours flying across an asphalt road off of a 10-speed that he just broke in the ditch.
It was your 10-speed.
It was my 10-speed.
And he tacoed that tire.
He did, and he went flying.
He did.
I'll never forget that. I don't know why that just flashed through my head.
Kids doing stupid things.
Yeah, probably so.
There were plenty of that going around.
And that was at night.
Now, we never did any of the Halloween pranks because we were too busy acquiring candy.
I didn't do it.
We didn't do any of that stuff.
My dad pretty much instilled in me that was just wrong.
Yeah.
To tear other people's stuff up.
Yeah, to tear other people's stuff up.
You just don't do that.
Listen. My mom got all bent out of shape because somebody rolled my house.
Your mother?
Yeah, imagine that. Got all bent out of shape because someone rolled our house on Halloween.
I know who it was.
And she was angry.
They rolled our house too.
Yeah. And
got caught at my house.
They got caught at your house. Okay. Yep. But it was... it was not fun that night. I'm going, Mom, you cannot go over and whoop somebody. You can. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, podcast general manager Bentley is
just saw the light bill.
Just saw the light bill. He just saw it. Man, I'll tell you what. It has been so hot that I remember that I opened up my electric bill. And it was just a picture of Willie Nelson.
Yeah.
It was that high, and he was hanging out with Snoop, so it was really high. But
Do you think Martha Stewart's partaking? I'm just wondering.
you know what? For shizzle,
Yeah.
for shizzle.
Agreed. I don't know. This world is going crazy. You're
I know.
seeing stuff like Martha Stewart and Snoop Dogg.
He's like, today I'm going to show you how to put some paprika on the salted. if you're in the right state of mind, it is fantastic.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Oh man, but yeah, we Halloween was a fun time, man. We had a good time at Halloween, but I still think the guy that put rocks in Charlie Brown's
What a jerk.
I mean, what kind of an adult does that to a kid?
Yeah, no doubt.
I know.
So, go ahead.
No,
Sorry.
no, go ahead.
I was just going to say we need to kind of go into is when we got older, and that was fun.
What was that?
Just going to the haunted houses and stuff.
Oh, the fun in the haunted houses was what you and me have gotten to do it separate, which is working
Yeah, working the haunted
in a
house.
haunted
was fun,
house.
too.
And chasing a rabbit here. I remember when you were the Grim Reaper one year in the most realistic looking Grim Reaper outfit I have ever seen. It had he had latex, like you had a latex glue on mask.
Yep.
As a skull and a lower jaw.
My dad was an artist, so he painted the mask, and it looked
it was amazing.
And then my grandma
made a robe,
the cowl, and all of that, and it was pretty wicked.
He was the Reaper.
I was the Reaper, and
Yeah.
I will not give any names, but I was working the Pike Haunted House. I was in college,
Right.
and there was a friend of mine. He's still a friend of mine today, and
We were living together at this time.
yeah, every time
Yep.
we see each other, yes, we were. And there's another story to this that we're not going to tell.
No, we are not.
But he was. They asked my brother was a Pike. They asked me to work the haunted house, and they were in the old Commons cafeteria, and they were redoing the bottom floor. Mm-hmm. So they were bringing everybody in through the top and putting them on an elevator, the service elevator, and
Right.
taking them downstairs to the haunted house. And that was the way into the haunted house. And I was in the elevator. Well, this guy shows up. He's a Reaper too. So we have two Reapers in there. And he says this to me. I have a fifth of Crown Royal and a bottle of Coke in my car. And my response to that was, it's not doing either one of us a bit of good in your car. So he goes out and gets the bottle of Crown Royal, and we put it on the shelf, on the opposite shelf of because the service elevator had two openings.
Right.
We put it on the opposite shelf. We'd pick people up, take them down, and then on the way back up, we would stop and take shots and put the bottle back and go pick more people. Well, 30 minutes of that, dude.
Yeah.
We are no longer solemn Grim Reapers. Come on in. Woo! Yeah, it got bad that night. It was fun, though.
I remember I got asked by, and I can't remember if I was a senior in high school or if I had already graduated, and I was asked by some folks that were in the drama department at Conway that were doing a haunted house at some location. I can't remember. It's back in the mid-'80s. And I had a great mask that was just ghoulish kind of thing that was a full head covering.
All right.
So I got a pair of coveralls, put that mask on, and you throw a hockey mask on, and you have a Jason Voorhees.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's exactly what I did. I put gloves on. I had the full blue coveralls, which my dad wore all the time, so I had constant access to those.
I was going to say, you got those pretty easy.
I got those really easy. Worn coveralls, I got them. And so I was Jason Voorhees. And so I was just laying out on this slab when people would come through, and they thought that I was just some dummy.
Well.
Yeah, well, I pitched a softball again. But, like stuffed with straw or whatever, just laying there. And I would just be still until someone came over to touch me. And then I would grab them with my left hand and pull that machete up. I think I made 2 or 3 people pee themselves.
They probably did.
I'm serious. But, they paid for that.
Oh,
So,
the Grim Reapers didn't make anybody pee themselves. They were all laughing.
yeah, they were all laughing. No, I scared some people when I did
Is
that.
that Chris Curtis behind
Is that Chris
man?
Curtis
Well, it
behind-
sure is, baby.
Yeah, man. We're just a couple of reapers here trying to make a
My
living.
Lord. That was a rough night. I'm not going to lie to you. That was a pretty rough night.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for coming along. Listen to us. Just kind of talk our way through Halloween. I hope you have a good, safe one. And go out and make your day, people.
Have fun, guys. AMF.